Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. I'm kind of speechless. I guess not. This artwork is new artwork for the new revised, reviled uh, D&D 5e-ish, really 6e, because they're saying that you really can't intermingle the books. But it's the same engine, but they're compatible-ish. So they're so compatible that your orcs, we already knew that orcs were changing, right? They were no longer just evil. Well, apparently now they are, I don't know, Mexican Americans. I mean, looking at this art, that's pretty much what I see. I've got other questions about it, but um, this is a hunting party. They hunt with falcons. So orcs, I guess, are falconers. This is news to me. Um, Now, it's a hunting party with, I see one bow in the party. I also see a very heavy falconer, who I guess does not move from her perch. Um, I'm a heavy guy, 5'9", 250 on a good day. You would not want me in a mobile hunting party. Okay, you don't. Especially if I don't have a missile weapon. If all I'm doing is, what is a falcon going to bring in? Nothing, not much bigger than a falcon. You're not feeding your orc family with this. You are feeding them with your bows. The axe is kind of pointless on the one with the, I don't know what the hell to call it. Their haircut doesn't quite match the others in the party. And I know people are going to go, are you offended that they are Mexican Americans? I'd be just offended if they were black. They never were. They never were. Not in any campaign I played in, not with any group I played with. And I played in the Poconos, I played in New York City, I played in the home group, high school, college. Nobody ever said that. Nobody ever thought that. I look at this, and I am saying, all right, yeah, I guess it's the American Southwest with Mexican influence. And it makes me scratch my head because there's a quote from Tim Kask on this, and I'm just going to read it. This is a step too far. Utter and complete bullshit revisionist crap. Kill 'em, big or small. Do they go to Riverside High with Archie? This is certainly quality artwork. I'm not dissing the quality artwork. Is this appropriate artwork for a fantasy RPG, which, let's admit it, your players are supposed to be heroes defeating evil. Orcs historically have been evil. Now they are apparently, well, again, I guess they're apparently Mexican Americans, which are not evil, but certainly not D&D. I always pictured myself, when I was a kid, orcs were the Picts of Great Britain. Orcs were the Huns of Asia. They were these barbarian tribes. I know barbarian's a bad word to use. I wonder, can they still have a barbarian class in 5e now? But they were the barbarians that were truly scary when they formed a war group or a raiding party. And you couldn't really expect much in the way of parlay with them. Here, I expect to sit down, have some good Tex-Mex food, maybe some good chili. I don't see it. This is not exciting D&D, but I guess D&D is not meant to be exciting anymore. The brand name. The brand name. I again. I'm going to quote somebody else, but I'm not going to name them. I'm not surprised. It's a ridiculous piece to begin with, and of course, was deliberately leaked to cause the old school fanboys, like myself, like those in the true OSR group on Facebook, to freak out so they could point and say, see, look how reactionary and terrible the old school fanboys are. Again, with the quote, I think it's calculated at this point. You know, and I've always said this, you can aim for more than one target on an RPG. But the target that they're aiming for here, I'm not even sure what it is. Right? What's left to combat if there is no evil? Right? When I was a kid in Dragon Magazine, because we didn't have the internet, one of the big discussions were, this is the moral one, for paladins, orc babies, nature or nurture. In other words, all orcs are evil, so you must kill the babies. Or could you raise an orc to not be evil based upon nurture? And it was interesting. It was a good conversation. Watsy is certainly saying that orcs are not evil by nature. Instead, they wear chaps and sombreros and hunt with falcons. I don't get it. You could have created a new race that would fit this. Why do you have to redefine orcs? And this, by the way, is why you can't mix your old 5e with your new 5e. And why they're calling it 5e is all psychological. They don't want to alienate the old players by changing the system, but they're going to alienate it by changing, I don't know, the fluff, the soul. The soul of the game is going to change, folks. And again, if we thought that playing a barista was silly and stupid, I don't know, an orc falconer wearing a sombrero, it's stereotyping, right? And I understand that, the world tends to be full of stereotypes, but we've been told that stereotypes are bad. And yet, here we go. There's also, and I will probably show this over the next coming days, there's a painting of dwarves, not just forging, but baking scones or some other. I don't get it. I don't get it. Again, maybe this stuff has moved on to a different reality. Maybe this stuff is obviously it's no longer 5e as it was initially published. Still had the soul of D&D. This is D&D in name only. And maybe you agree with me. Maybe you don't. Let me know. That's what the comments are for. Like, subscribe. I'll have more. But this, again, if you ask me about the quality of this piece of artwork, it's a beautiful piece of artwork that would have no place in any game I've run, own, intend to own. If they were hoping to retain any of their current base, probably not. And by the way, this is a foreshadowing of what you can expect in Greyhawk. Think about that, folks. Think about that. All right. Latest.